Hello and welcome to another how-to video. My name's Dave Davis, CTO at DVS, and thank you to everybody who likes, shares and subscribes to our video content. If you haven't yet subscribed, please head over to our YouTube channel, DVS Limited. Make sure you hit the subscribe and the notify button when you'll be notified weekly of all our new content. So thank you for everybody that already has done and that continues to support us. So what are we going to look at today? Today we're going to look at a brand new pair of point-to-point links. So those of you that use point-to-point links, maybe you're trying to link an outbuilding, a garage, a shed, two small properties together, then using our Neon, so you can see Neon-DLB-ECO-KIT. Let me just take that so the camera focuses on it. We've had these made. The kit will come with two radios. It doesn't come with the universal bracket, but we can add that in. The reason we didn't add the bracket to the kit on this format is for the cost. To keep the cost down and to make these a very cost-effective, attractive solution to those small point-to-point links, then this is the solution for you. So what is the Neon-DLB-ECO-KIT? So two radios for point-to-point linkage, P2P, point-to-point. These aren't really designed for point to multi-point linking. These are designed for that really cost-effective, short distance, linking two buildings together, a couple of cameras, data, etc. This is the go-to product for you. It's made by a well-known manufacturer. The other parts that we do have in our price list, this is specially made for DVS under our brand name. Still the same hardware, still the same familiar look to it, and that rock solid performance that you've come to love and expect from this product. So inside the box, you get the installation and user manual. So you can see there, full instructions on how to use and install the kit. You get a radio head, and if we compare it to an iPhone 12 Pro, you can see actually it's smaller than an iPhone 12 Pro. Okay, it doesn't quite have that same slimline profile, but it's a very, very small unit. On the back of the unit, you've got the LED indicators, so you can tell the signal strength and whether it's powered. Through the web browser, these can be disabled if you prefer to have that as a covert option and turn them off. You can do that through the web browser. It has the integrated bracket, so this is designed to simply stick it to an existing pole, antenna bracket, etc. Cable tie it through there, or metal tie it using Jubilee clips and secure it to the pole, which gives you that turnability to allow you to align it to the other end. Alternatively, you can use our universal bracket and again secure it to the universal bracket, and that gives you the full tilt turn ability. Or like most people do with this cost-effective link, is just simply secure it to an existing post or pillar or lamppost or something like that nature, yeah? But again, we do supply the links. On the bottom there's a little flap that we can remove. So inside the flap itself you've got the RJ45 LAN connector and a reset button. Now inside the box it comes with the inline PoE injector and kettle lead. So as you'll see, there's an in and out on there. So one provides your power to this unit. So it provides 24 volt DC passive. So 24 volt DC passive PoE to this unit. Don't connect this to a PoE switch, a standard 48 volt. It will probably damage it, or the likelihood of it damaging it is there. And 24 volt passive PoE inline injector. And also your data out. So that would connect to your CCTV camera, your network, switch, etc. with all your cameras or data on it. And inside the box, it does come with two cable ties to allow you to secure it through the bracket to the existing fitment. So all inside the box. Once you've secured your RJ45 connector in there, simply slide the cover on. And it'll click in. And that it obviously fits, the hole there will fit downwards so the cable comes out of it, and it is waterproof and can be used externally or internally, no issues. Don't forget, these are only 100 megabits uplink links, so the data you'll put across here is not going to be 1 gigabyte, it's going to be less than a gig, and they are rated at 150 megabit throughput, that's bi-directional, so 75 megabits each way essentially. But what you'll do with these is for, you know, 1 to maybe 5, 6, even 7 cameras with a PC the other end. So they're still quite powerful, but it's only 100 megabits link. Other than that, you take your other link, fit it at the other end, and these are really for around 20 to possibly 300 meters distance, so not as long as our other links in our price list, but very good for that general application where short range, low data. And when I say low data, you know, you're still talking like 1 to 10 cameras, which is still enough for most of these point-to-point link applications. But again, very cost effective, very easy to fit. Both have a web browser, so you simply go into the web browser and set them both up, which we're going to do in a minute. I'll transfer you over to the PC and show you how easy it is to set both ends up. Other than that, get in contact with the DVS sales rep, they'll give you the price, and then we keep these in stock and ship to you next day. So I'll transfer you over to the web browser to show you how easy this is to fit and program, so stay tuned. Okay, so I've web browsed into the local unit. There's actually one fitted, if I drop this down now, is there. So I've cable tied it onto a set of step ladders just to look down the other end. There's also one fitted at the opposite end of the demo room down there. So I've taken a lead from here into the PoE injector here, and my laptop is connected into the other side of the PoE injector. All I've done is programmed my network connections. You can see if I open up my network connections, it's programmed to .2 range, because the default IP address is 192.168.2.66. Now all units out of the box, that's the factory fallback IP address. So I put it in the same range, and I've simply web browsed to it. Like I said earlier, it's connected to a 100 meg port. You can see it's only 100 meg. So web browse into the unit. We're going to set this one up first, and then I'm going to transfer my laptop and set up the far unit. I'll give that a different IP address, so that'll be .67, so I can access both links from the same link, if that makes sense. You can make it fit into your existing IP address schematic, that's absolutely fine, or make your own up. What we can do, or what we will do, or what I find easiest, is probably the best thing to say, is I always do these one-to-one. So I'll program the one end, then I'll program the other end. And I do this with all the links I deploy. So this end, then that end. It doesn't really matter which way you make the station and which way you make the access point. But I do generally tend to find I always fit the access point, or program the access point, as the one closest to the NVR or your network equipment. So this will be the access point, that'll be the station, and we'll point the station to the access point. So if you do the access point first, you then go to that one and then simply point it to this one. So we're going to log in. So the default username and password is admin, and then admin01. Please feel free to change these. Click login. First time you log into it, you have to accept the user conditions. We'll set this to United Kingdom. That's quite important that you select it the right region you're in. And we don't need to change this, and click change. So that'll save yourself. Okay, so you can see it's now saved. Operating mode is GB. Device name is the Neon-DLB-ECO. You can fill some of this in if you want. What is quite important is a lot of people, when they set any link up, you know, especially with the DLB links, they leave the security as open. That's not good. The reason it's not good is, one, it's insecure, but secondly, a lot of devices these days, especially iPhones, Androids, cars, etc., they're set to auto-connect or auto-find a network. So when you come into vicinity of these links or cross over it, your iPhone or your device will have the opportunity to probably join this, because if you're broadcasting the SSID, it will pick it up and ask to join that. With no password, you have the opportunity to join it and then drop the link out, confuse it, corrupt it, and that will cause lots of issues, as well as give the person access to your network through that device. So it's really important that you do set the SSID. You can leave the SSID to broadcast, but please make sure you set the security, and we'll show you that as we go through. And you can toggle it from simple to normal mode there. So settings, so enable radio, yes. We're going to change this to access point, and we always choose IPOL free where possible. Country GB, maximum transmit power. And I always start off with the maximum, but you can throttle this back. If you're getting it where the units are too close and you're finding the units are dropping out, then you can adjust the power transmission down, which can stabilize the link. So under advanced radio settings, you can change these to your heart's content, whatever suits your application. I normally leave these as default, as on. But under here, we can select this, so that SSID, we're going to change the SSID to DVS demo link. Just going to put that in there, and we're going to broadcast the SSID. If you turn it off, it won't broadcast it, but then you'll need to manually input it on the other radio. So it's up to you if you broadcast it or not. Most people tend to leave that as on. Security is open, and this is the important part. We're going to change that either to WPA2 personal or WAP personal, WT enterprise, whichever one suits. We're going to use the WPA2 personal. Catchphrase, we're just going to choose a simple one, and the other one will match the other end. Bandwidth limitation, again, you can limit the bandwidth if you want. They're only 100 meg, don't see the point in doing that. WACL, and advanced settings. So client isolation, maximum connected clients, map to VLAN, management over wireless enabled. So we're going to leave it as enabled, because if you disable it, you can't access the unit's web browser over the wireless radio. Multicast enhancement, multicast echo, etc. So we're going to click done. Next thing we need to do is save changes. Now, a lot of people don't do this, so it tells you what you're changing. We're going to click yes, save changes. And again, this could take 30 to 60 seconds. Okay, so it's saved the changes now. Okay, next one down, so you can see now it's enabled and the SSID is there. So under network, I can select it bridge or router. We're going to leave it as bridge mode. We're bridging two units together, but you can enable the VLAN and set that up as required. Interface, again, I can click on there. Mode, auto, fixed or advanced, speed, etc. Again, change it as per necessary. Now, IPv4 configuration is dynamic. We're going to put it as static. I'm going to put the IP addresses .2.66 on this one, .67 on that one. DNS server 8.8.8.8, and then 8.8.4.4. But again, you can do this to fit your IP address schematic. Click. We'll save the changes after. Traffic management, again, data, voice, and IP. So traffic optimization, I normally select data, video, and VoIP. Again, another little change. So again, date and time, you can select the date and time on this. Remote management is enabled. System alerts. SNMP. Ping watchdog, I'll show you that in a minute. WNMS, firmware update, discovery service is on, using those services. System login, tunnels, and PPPoE functions. So lots and lots of, they're like enterprise level units, to be honest, with all the functions and features on there. The one thing that we do find useful in applications where you find links are dropping off, they become unstable for lots of different reasons. Enable the ping watchdog. Give it an IP address. So let's just say I want to ping something on the other end of that unit. So I'm going to ping .67, so the opposite unit. Ping interval every 1 minute, and if I put this at 10, so every 1 minute it'll ping that device on the opposite end, or whatever that device is, that IP address you put in there. If it fails 10 times, so it pings every 1 minute 10 times, so 10 failures, so 10 minutes, this unit will reboot. And then you can do the same with the opposite end, so they like talk to each other. Both units reboot after 10 minutes. Essentially, they'll try to reconnect themselves. Sometimes that's all that you need to re-establish a link that's dropping off. Now, it could be because of the environmental factors, lots of RF in the area, so lots of other wireless devices that are causing confusion or interruption. But again, this simple technique allows us to reboot the units every 10 minutes, and that does sometimes get us out of those trouble issues, and the links become stable again. But of course, when the link is rebooting, the links are down and the data transfer across it is not possible. If you do have cameras, one highly recommended solution that I always try to promote, if you do have cameras that are on any wireless link on the far end, please do fit SD cards in the camera. If the link does go down, it provides a local recording on the camera. When the link does come up, if you've got an NVR that supports the ANR function, the automatic network refresh or replenishment, it will push that footage from the camera back to the NVR, and you don't suffer any loss of footage on the NVR. Similarly, if the link does go down and it doesn't re-establish itself, any incidents that occur in the camera's field of view are still recorded locally on the camera. So wireless links, SD cards in cameras, it just makes sense, and something that I highly promote. But that's what that function does. I'll turn it off because I haven't got the other one set up. All I need to do then, so system configuration, and again, some more, you can give it a change the friendly name, contact information, so DVS tech, device location, you don't have to fill any of this in. Backup configuration, reboot, restart, restore, user accounts, LED settings, so the LEDs are on and off, like I mentioned, they're the LEDs on the rear of the unit, advanced settings, and again, click save changes, click save, and that will save the data around 30 seconds. Okay, another tools. We've got lots of tools in here. So you've got the site survey tool, so it'll start scanning. So if I click start scan, it'll start to scan the frequency of other devices. There you go. So you can do a site survey. Antenna alignment, so you can do an antenna alignment. I haven't got the other one programmed, so it's a bit pointless. Link tests. Spectrum analyzer, so again, I can actually adjust the frequency I'm looking for, click start, and it'll do a spectrum analyzer test. So you can see 5.8 is where we are, we're about the 5.8 there, and you can see all of the other devices that are emitting frequency within this range spectrum that we set there. Quite useful to see how much RF is in the area, what kind of level it is, and if there's any overlap or potential issues, and we can adjust our unit or their units or realign them, etc. So we'll stop that. Lots of handy functionality built into these units. And then you've got the ping test as well. Support troubleshooting, you can download the troubleshooting file, send it to DVS, and then the controller. We're not using that cloud controller. We're not using the cloud controller, but there is an option to use a cloud controller. Back to information. Again, all the configuration is now saved. So you can see the Cardiff is the new updated, and all of the information we've actually programmed is now completed. So what I need to do now is move my laptop over to the unit that end, program that up, put the IP address in, and then link it to this access point. Now I will show you. I'll just quickly transfer you over to that one, plug myself in, and then you can see how we connect or do the pairing process. So stay tuned. Okay, so I'm on the separate link now. So log into this link. This is the new link. Yes, do the same thing. Wait for this to save. Okay, so settings. We've already set the access point down there. So the next thing we have to do is we're going to set this as a station IPOL 2, IPOL 3, which it was, full power for now. And again, you can adjust the channel width, etc. So primary SSD, SSID, we're going to search it. Look for the one, there we are, this one here. Select it. You can see all of the other devices that it's picked up. So DVS demo link, select it. Select this. Password, just for demo purposes, is this. Click done. And we're going to click save changes. Like I said, it does take sort of 20-30 seconds to save these changes. The next thing we're going to do is change the IP address of this unit, so it goes to .67, so I can access both units remotely. So again, that's now linked. You can see it's now linked to this one there, so they're now paired. It's as simple as that. And you can see it's too strong. So whilst this is sort of, I don't know, 15 meters apart, it's actually too strong. So what we'd have to do is drop that a little bit, click save changes. All good stuff for purposes of demonstration. I'll probably have to drop that end as well. So I'll log into that end in a minute and we'll do that. So it's still too strong, even though I've throttled it right back. Again, these are very close to each other, but again, throttle it back again. Let's do it again. Apologies, you do have to wait for this to save. So sorry that you got to sit there looking at me. Not a bad thing. from Monday morning. Yeah, so that's adjusted it. We will have to adjust that end down now. It's not normal under this. Well, unless you're bridging a garage or something where the distance is small, then you do have to throttle those right back. But again, it's on this lowest transmit power. We'll do the other end, and that should really help bring that down, and then it will report that as being fine. So network configuration, static, we're going to put 67 in there. Click save. What that means now is I need to now open up a new web browser and then visit it on the new tab. Still not fully saved yet. There we go. It's now on 67. So 67 is this one, 66 is that one there. So as I said, because they're now paired, in theory I can hit both. So from the same web browser, I can now hit both radios. So I've now created a very effective link, very, very simple to do. One station's connected. And again, I could go into here, drop that down a bit, click save changes, click save. And that will help with any, if they're too powerful, it's almost as bad as it being not powerful enough. Overpower will obviously also affect the dropout. Now that's a drop there, do that, refresh it. You can see it's still too powerful, but it has, the number has adjusted. So if I put it right down, you get the idea. I can just really drop that down even further, and it'll be on its lowest power and it should still be stable. What I'm going to do next, just to prove the links work, whilst I can see both links from here, I'm going to connect the network, connect to this one, connect the network into this one, so up to network, and from that end, where I've connected into my link, I should be able to see the devices at end, if that makes sense. But I will transfer you across now. Okay, so now I'm back at this end, so I've connected directly into this radio, which is talking across the wireless, and that's connected into my workbench over there with loads of different devices on there. You can see since I throttled it back, it's now reporting the signal strength is excellent. So if they are very close, drop the power transmission until you get it to excellent. Therefore, it's in its optimum working environment. Okay, what we need to do next is quickly turn off the Wi-Fi. So we're going to drop this Wi-Fi off. So nothing's connected to Wi-Fi, connected to my LAN, across the network. And all we're going to do, let me just make sure I can still see both units. That's fine. There we go, so that's absolutely fine. Drop that down, drop that down. So SADP, open up SADP. And there, using the wireless link, you can see all of my devices across there using SADP. So I'm just using that purely and simply from the network connection. Using SADP, I can still see everything. Absolutely fantastic. In fact, I should. No, because it's in the wrong IP address. And the gateway's wrong. So effectively, if you are going to put it in your network, make sure you use an IP address that matches your existing network, like I said. But you get the idea. The links are working, they're paired. I can see all of the traffic across there. If I was in the right IP address range, I'd be able to see all my devices. Very, very cost effective, very simple to configure, and lots of handy tips within this video that will really help optimize your application, and stuff that we get asked all of the time around passwords, power transmission, etc., and all of the different enterprise features. I hope you enjoyed the video. Stay tuned for more informative content as the weeks go by. If you like it, please give us a like and comment below. Other than that, stay safe wherever you are, and we shall see you very shortly. Cheers everyone, bye bye.